So there are some accessories that make a difference, and there are other accessories that make a big difference. Well, the CyberRack E2 makes a big difference, and in this video, we're going to show you why. The Cravat CyberRack E2 is currently listed on the website for $339. You can purchase it with the optional locking pin release for an extra $20 at the time of purchase. It's also going to come in two colors, blue, gray, and black. The overall size of the rack is going to be 69.1 inches wide by 40.3 inches deep and 41.5 inches tall. So we're going to take our CyberRack E2 and plug it into our 2-inch receiver. Once we get it into place, we're going to line up the hole. Then we're going to take our pin with our washer and lock washer and screw it right in. Let me grab my wrench and we'll tighten it down. And it's going to be threaded all the way through. Okay, you're going to want to tighten it down, make it nice and snug. We'll release our pin here. Drop the rack down. Now that the rack is in the down position, you're going to want to go ahead and stick your pin back through here. Might need to wiggle it a little to get it through. And then just reattach our Carter pin. And we want to make sure our lock washer flattened out. So this is nice. Instead of just having a Carter pin for the end here, we have a lock so someone can't just come and pop it off. They can't just pull it off with the bikes and everything and take off. So we have this nice little lock. It's a deterrent. Let's go ahead and put it on. Put it on, turn the lock, and pull your key out. Simple as that. And now someone can't just come up and pull the pin and take off with your bike rack and everything on it. So something I did notice is this adjustable slider was pretty loose. So when I pressed down on it, it wasn't locking into place. What you want to do is pull up on this and turn it to tighten it down, and then you'll have the tension that you need. So keep that in mind when you're putting yours together as well. Let's go ahead and pull our ramp off and ride a bike up onto the rack. So you're going to come to the bottom here and you're going to pull this back on the pin here and slide your pin right out. And now your ramp will pull right out. Let's go ahead and hook up our ramp to get our first bike in position. Take your ramp and hook it right up to these two little hooks here. Rest it in place. And then your ramp is going to be all set, and we'll ride the bike right up the ramp. Beautiful. That was super simple. So one of the best features of this bike rack is going to be this center rod. We can attach directly to our seat post, and we don't have to worry about scratching the paint on our frame. You'll be able to transport these bikes no problem. Let's go ahead and strap our tire in on the bottom here as well. Again, it's a really simple process. We even have a nice thick piece of rubber that we can line up with our rim. Perfect. Same on this side. We're gonna go ahead and feed it through. We'll line it up so the thick rubber is right on our rim here. And we're gonna go ahead and slide this right into the clamp just like so and tighten that down as well. I gotta say, this bike is going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. That is super simple and wooden easy rack to work with. Let's go ahead and get the second bike on the front. If you're only going to be traveling with one bike, you're going to want to put it on the rack closer to the vehicle. Let's go ahead and set our ramp up and get our second bike in place. Keep in mind these are two heavy fat tire e-bikes. Position this so everything's going to line up. We'll go ahead and remove this for now. No need to have it on at this point. It's easy to slide it on with one hand. Go ahead and slide our second bike up on the rack. Real easy to slide these up, and these are 4-inch tires. It is nice having that ramp. Drops in here perfect. I like it. We can even rest the bike over if you needed to put it down. Go ahead and attach it here. We'll slide our bike right into position here. Let me show you how easy this is. Slide it right into position here just like that. So you can see that the seat post is going up on a little bit of an angle there, and you can basically turn this to match that angle perfectly and tighten it down. That is so nice, so simple, and this bike is going nowhere. Push our cleat back to the tire and then lock it in place. Turn this the proper direction and we'll feed it through. Same thing on this side here. Feed it through. And we'll go ahead and put our ramp back on. Before we take off, we'll make sure everything is tightened down nice and snug, and I don't feel that going anywhere at all. There are two huge features on this rack that make a huge difference. The first one is the front cleat that holds this tire is made out of metal. It's solid and it's going nowhere. This is the old cleat I have on my other bike rack, and you can see it's made out of plastic. Guess what? It broke pretty easy, and it's dangerous. This one here is so solid, it's going nowhere. A second thing that I really like about this bike rack, normally because I have a step-through bike here, I have to take and have this piece coming across just like this so that the other bike rack could latch onto it. I don't need to worry about bringing this along anymore. It latches right onto the seat post, no extra equipment needed. I can still get a contact point here on the center post, or I can use the seat post. Advantages of the seat post, you're never gonna scratch up your paint or scuff it. That's gonna happen if you're constantly latching on here and there's friction. That's gonna be perfect right there on the seat post. No scuffs, no scratches. Love it. So no need to worry about bringing this anymore. We're gonna latch onto that seat post every time. So here's a tip or recommendation. If you're riding with your bike on your back rack, remove your battery. It just makes it much lighter, and your battery's not jostling around in there and getting banged up. If it started to rain or something happened, I always worry about the electronics or connections getting dirty or wet. So I just take a piece of foam, wedge it in here just like that, and that's gonna prevent anything from getting down in there for the most part, and dust and dirt. So I'll travel like that with that piece of foam right in the bike frame, no problem. And don't forget, make sure you put your battery in your vehicle. We'll do the same on the other. Fill it with a piece of foam. Simple as that. So this rack is e-bike approved. It accepts a max wheelbase of up to 50 inches and 5 inches wide. I really like the fact that this rack comes with the ramp. It makes getting the bike on and off the rack so much easier. Now included is a V-shaped front wheel cradle. You can haul up to 200 pounds. That's 100 pounds per bike. I don't know of many e-bikes that are much heavier than that. It comes with a common 2-inch receiver, but I'm sure if you had a different size hitch, you can always get an adapter. So traveling around with this bike rack, I am super impressed. The bikes stay rock solid on this thing. They don't jostle around. You don't see them bumping around on the back. It feels like they're protected. I pulled over after about 3 miles of riding, and everything was just as tight as when I put it on originally, and I didn't put any extra straps on it. I trust this rack. It's solid, it's quality, and it's reasonable. So at the end of the day, searching for a bike rack is never a fun job, and it's usually actually pretty difficult because they're so heavy and you really don't know what you got until you have it and you're using it. I'll tell you what, I feel really comfortable with my bikes being on the back of this rack. It's a solid, strong rack. It's heavy, but it's solid. I feel like you'll be happy with this one. I know I am. I'm comfortable with it, and most of all, I'm happy I found this one because I really like it. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. And if you're interested in purchasing a CyberRack E2 for yourself, there'll be links in the description for you to do so, along with any potential coupon codes. So like always, thanks for watching. Ride safe. Have fun. See ya.